Pirelli has just launched its fastest ever performance road tyre. I'm really excited about this, and naturally I'm going to tell you everything you need to know about it, how they've actually achieved this and made a faster tyre, and how the technology's improved. This brand new tyre is called the P-Zero TLR RS, and the headline stats are, compared to the previous TLR from Pirelli, that it is 8% lighter, 16% faster in rolling resistance, has more grip, and also it's made in Italy. Eagle-eyed viewers of GCNTech will have noticed that a prototype version has been used by the Lvly men's and women's pro teams. But what you may not know is that it's amassed 71 podiums already, of which 27 have been victories, including the Tour of the Alps, Ghent-Wevelgem, the Tour de la Provence, and the Tour of Flanders Women. However, Pirelli's engineers tell me that the actual finished tyre we have here is actually slightly faster than that prototype version, and that's thanks to trickle-down tech, if you're playing GCNTech bingo at home, but not from other cycling tech, actually, in this case, from motorsport. And where it's benefited most is with the compound of the tyre, which is called Smart Evo 2. Pirelli has a huge amount of expertise in motorsport, and all the R&D labs in Pirelli are shared across all the different tyre applications. And in this case, this is compound tech that has come from high-performance motorsport applications and features smart polymers, according to Pirelli, embedded in the compound, which are then functionalized to give greater material properties. And the result is a compound which, does what you want. It offers more grip, but lower rolling resistance. The improved performance isn't down to just the new rubber compound though. There's an improved construction technique and also a revised approach to puncture protection. I'll go into more detail on all that in a minute, because the first thing you need to be aware of is that, the moment that you ride the new tyre compared to the previous TLR version, which I've been using for the last year, you can just feel it. These feel significantly faster. Pirelli told me that deep inside their top secret Milan labs, they performed some competitive testing with the predecessor to this, the P-Zero TLR, against the leading German and Italian competitors. Now you can guess down in the comments section which two tyres you think that is. Now, the results were that they found that the TLR was actually slightly slower and slightly heavier than those competitors, but it did outperform them in one key area: puncture protection. But when they did their benchmark testing, Pirelli came to the conclusion that they'd placed too great an emphasis on puncture protection, and in that regard, the tyre was actually over-engineered. So, when they've designed and made the construction of the new RS tyre, they've actually reduced the puncture protection to be in line with the competition. And the result is, a lighter, considerably faster tyre, which Pirelli reckons now outperforms the competition, especially combined with that new Smart Evo 2 compound. And having visited Pirelli's top secret labs and met with some of the engineers and scientists there, their excitement about this tyre was palpable. They seem incredibly confident that they've created a tyre which is comparable to some time trial specific tyres in terms of rolling resistance, but has much better grip and puncture protection. But another feature that helps both reduce the weight and also improve the rolling resistance is the construction of the overall carcass of the tyre, so not just the compound down the middle. And that's something which Pirelli calls the speed core layer. And this is, again, a special polymer which is now lighter than previous generations. It contains Kevlar inside of it in the weave to give it strength, which is important for the carcass of the tyre. It needs to be strong. But also it helps in keeping the tyre airtight when set up tubeless. Well, that all sounds great, but what's it going to cost me? Well, we'll put the prices of the new tyres on screen now because it's different depending on where you are in the world. And as premium tyres, they're not cheap, but
They are in line with other brands, and whenever you perform a cost-benefit analysis, we always say that, and come to the same conclusion, that when it comes to upgrades, tyres are without question the best bang for your buck upgrade you can make if you're trying to get faster.
So other details, the tyres are available in a range of sizes, 26, 28, 30 and 32 millimetres at the moment, and they have 120 TPI casing, if you were interested in that sort of thing. Now you can get them also in either black, which we have here, or classic, which is like a sort of light brown sidewall. The measured width of your tyres will vary though, depending on the width of the rims that you use and also the pressure. Fortunately, Pirelli has a really useful chart and calculator tool available on its website, which you can check out so that you can work out what width you're going to be running. And it's just a really useful tool. There's also a chart on the back of the box, which is pretty handy. Now, my favourites are 28s, but they, on my 21 millimetre internal width rims, come out at 29 millimetres. Nice. But how much do they weigh? Well, the 26 millimetre ones are said to weigh 270 grams, and then they go up 20 grams for every size above that. So the 28s I have here, 290 grams. And they're hookless compatible too, should you want to run hookless. They're fully compatible with the ERTO standards and have a new bead as well on the tyre.
Now, while many people associate Pirelli as an automotive tyre brand now, they might not realise that a lot of the heritage and history of the company is actually in bike tyres. So as far back as 1890, the company was experimenting with tyres for velocipedes, the predecessor to the bicycle. And then in 1895, they produced some experimental tyres called the Tipo Milano. And then you go back to the first ever Giro d'Italia in 1909. Well, the new TLR RS is actually a nod to that, having been launched at this year's Giro d'Italia, because back then, 30 of the 49 finishers of that first Giro were on Pirelli tyres.
While this tyre bears little resemblance to those from 1909, it's really cool to see a company with a long and authentic history like Pirelli making tyres now and pushing tyre technology now the same way they were back then. And overall, they have described the previous TLR tyre as being a good sort of all-round performance tyre, whereas the new RS, they describe that more as kind of a, pure performance racing tyre. So I hope you've enjoyed this look at the new tyre, and let us know your thoughts and comments on it down below. And if you'd like to see how these are made, well, we have a video doing exactly that came out last week. So make sure you subscribe and also check that out. I'm gonna go now. Love you, bye.